It's tough being 9. Which, by the way, I think Kevin's like 10 or something in 2.
Yeah, because he was 8 and 1.
It's also not the same guy. Not the same kid.
Yeah.
Oh!
Tougher still is spending Christmas with Dad, Jason Beige, at his new girlfriend Natalie's, Johanna Going, mansion, even though it's loaded with all the techno gadgets any kid could hope for.
I hate the key.
But this Christmas, Kevin, Michael Weinberg, is in really hot water again, and so are Marv, and his sidekick, Missy. Oh, Marv, played by French Stewart. His sidekick, played by Missy Pyle, who are up to no good with funnier and more high-tech crime-stopping wizardry at his disposal than ever. Kevin just might finally put these crooks on ice forever. He's gonna kill them and keep his parents together while he's at it.
Butler.
In this uplifting, hilarious comedy, the whole family is sure to love. Now,
like downlifting.
Yeah.
No.
I'm guessing Home Alone 3 didn't do well at the box office.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a billboard for Home Alone 4 because it was a direct-to-TV movie.
It doesn't deserve that. It did not deserve
And
that.
I remember being like, a Home Alone 4? And I remember being like, oh, I guess it's like a new kid. And it's the guy from Third Rock from the Sun. I do like French Stewart, the guy who plays Marv in this. Not in this. I like him in other things.
No, not in this.
No,
brutal.
I like him in other things.
I know I recognized him.
You know what's funny? Like, I actually didn't mind some of his performance in this, but I'm like, that's not how Marv should be.
He's trying to do the voice.
Yeah.
Hey,
And then I remember it came on TV and I watched like a few minutes of it. Like, it was already like well into the movie and I went, this looks bad.
I'm gonna be
honest.
honest.
And then I never watched it.
I'm gonna be honest. I went into this blind. I didn't even read the synopsis on it. And when they said Kevin McAllister and Buzz, and it's like, I'm like,
okay, so I didn't know about that until
this is what I hate the most about this movie is that they just kept all the same character names but totally different characters.
Yeah,
and that was brutal.
It's so fun. Like they reference the original and they're like, I want to be Home Alone. They're like, well, remember how that turned out? I'm like, no,
which would be a funny line if it was Macaulay Culkin, but it's not.
And I would expect them to do that with 3, but not 4.
Yeah,
like,
4 is like, it feels like an apology. It's like, sorry, we did a new kid. Here's everyone from the first 2. It's like, yeah, but they're all new actors. Like, it's not the same thing.
Here's the thing. It's a made-for-TV movie. If they had, like, done, like, a made-for-TV version of Home Alone, not even, like, a sequel, it still would have sucked. But I would have forgiven it more. Yeah. This is unforgivable.
The fact that it's, like, bringing Kevin and them back. So, yeah, I turned it off. I didn't realize that it was Kevin until a few years back. Before he came out to Cinemassacre, Macaulay Culkin hung out with Red Letter Media. And they made him watch Home Alone 4. So Macaulay Culkin had to watch the continuing adventure of Kevin McAllister, which is really cool to see.
As that poor guy hasn't been through enough in his life.
He doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, that is the most bizarre thing. And I actually like the actor who plays the dad.
Oh, yeah.
Not in this. And actually, the director of this, he did 2 films here. Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox. That's a classic. Everyone likes that one. He also did K9 with Jim Belushi. Not even the good Belushi. The one where he's the cop with the dog. Did you ever see K9?
No.
Not to be confused with Top Dog, the one with Chuck Norris and a dog. A lot of dog cop movies. Oh. There's a movie called Cop Dog. Wow. It's about a ghost. The dog's a ghost. Yeah.
No, what?
There's other channels that covered that.
I don't like that.
So yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. Let's talk about Michael Weinberg as Kevin McAllister.
You! Hello, Marv.
He looks nothing like Kevin. He acts nothing like Kevin. No.
When I saw the picture, like, they look like he made his eyes bigger in, like, the poster for it, where he's like, and I'm like, I don't...
He has a really punchable face. Was that just me? He has a really punchable face.
Oh my God, he does! And he's like, at the beginning, he's like, oh, I want to spend time with Mom, and then Buzz... not even like tortures him. He's just like being annoying, and that just is enough for Kevin. I hate saying that, to be like, I'm going to my dad's house.
By the way, he
just abandons his
mother.
God.
Yeah, he abandons them. He gets on a cab and goes to his dad.
He defends his mom and then throws that right out the window, goes to a cab, and he's like, no, I like this rich Pete. He doesn't like Natalie. I don't like
After his dad just abandoned him. Which Natalie was very nice to him.
But,
Like,
okay.
she was like over the top.
Oh, Natalie was nice up until the end where there was just like that big like. If you get in my way, I will.
That was
kill
that
you.
was
But
okay.
look
So
what he did to her house.
yeah,
I mean, true,
I
but like
I
the
couldn't
way
stand that kid
like
either.
But like the way like she just switched and then she's like, oh, but to her fiance, we're like, oh.
yeah, they try to make her a bad guy
But she's
too
so
late
nice at
into the
first.
movie.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
And then, like, even when it's revealed that it wasn't Kevin's fault at the end of the movie, the dad's like, I'm going to get back with my real wife. Like, it's really mean to that character. Like, she didn't know that there were burglars. She didn't believe the kid. Once it's revealed, you could have worked it out.
Yeah, and she didn't know that her staff was behind it.
Yeah.
And side note, when she went to pick up like the Queen and the Prince of England.
Oh, yeah.
And the Prince talks. Play a clip of that. That is so dubbed over by like an older woman. She's like, oh yes, I am the Prince, and yeah.
Can we go to Wrigley Field and the aquarium? Do you have any kids?
Peter McAllister, he's left his wife. Well, they split up.
Yeah.
He didn't, like, abandon them. Like, they're going through a divorce, and he's got a new girlfriend.
8 months in, he's like,
8 months in, he's got a new girlfriend, and she's, like, rich and has a really nice house and everything.
I hate the key. Because every time door open,
Oh, God, yeah.
fire on, do this.
That's the thing.
That.
So it's
Prescott, Molly.
It's a high-tech smart house that can do anything, but they're always using it for, like door open, but
Just
they're
turn
standing in front of the door.
Just turn the fucking doorknob.
I'm sure the dad wasn't there because he really loved that lady.
No, he does say, he's like, look,
Yeah,
me
he's
and
like,
your mom got
he's
together
trying to
when
build
we were really young and we pumped out a lot of kids. And I didn't really get to live a little. He just needs to.
No,
he just needs to
how many
whore around, I guess.
How many
He just-
siblings does he have in the original movie?
I think he has 2. He has like a brother and a sister
Because
who
it's-
are in this.
Oh yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, I
Yeah.
thought they had 3.
So yeah, the dad left the mom because he just didn't, get to plow enough ladies in college, I guess. And then like,
And this dad's out here acting like Uncle Frank, just smooching off. This
yeah.
lady.
And the mom could go out and date. I don't know why she wasn't bad looking. She's being all.
And he keeps watching the VHS tape, and then the mom later on watches it, and she's like, I miss my husband.
Oh god, that was the weird thing when the dad. Sorry, now I'm criticizing the dad. The dad, like throughout the film, is just like, "Why isn't my new girlfriend just like my wife?" It's like, well, didn't you leave your wife? What is your issue?
And then his wife comes over, and they're just like, remember this time? And Natalie's like, I fucking hate this.
It must have been so awkward for her.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you can see like there's still a connection. She's just like,
yeah.
And then like her butler turns on her like, oh yeah, if you were stuck with that bitch, it was nice seeing her hyperventilate.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
I like Eric Avari, the guy who plays the butler.
I liked him.
Mr. Prescott. But there's one scene where I went, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. When they're locked in the cellar.
Yeah.
And they're like, who could we call? Like, oh, I don't know. And then he goes,
I do have a cell phone, though.
Perfect, man.
wait, you had a cell phone this whole time? You just
Yeah,
been
they don't
sitting
even call
down there?
the police. They call his
They call his
mother.
mom, and then the phone dies. I'm
Yeah.
like,
And then Buzz is like, all right. Hangs
Again,
up twice. I'm like, what the
the other ones were ridiculous, but they like made an effort to trick you into believing
doesn't even call
like
the police.
these scenarios could happen. This one, I'm like, no, that was just, this is dumb.
The one thing that does make sense is like that Marv and him recognize each other, which is weird because they're not the same person.
Mm.
So how would they recognize each other? Anyway,
Yeah,
but I will say it makes sense why Kevin's like taking care of like Marv on his own
Mm.
because he's done it before. But at the same time, I mean, I guess Kevin didn't really call the police before, but like, I don't know, it's so
wait.
stupid.
If you're gonna
He floods the house.
yeah, if you're gonna recast everyone, why not just get a new Harry? Why give Marv a wife, a girlfriend? It's
Yeah.
bizarre. And did it bother you guys that what you call it?
They bring
Marv
up-
is dressed like Harry.
They bring
Yeah,
up Harry
it's-
and they're like, don't bring him up. I
Yeah.
don't want to talk about him. It's like, all right, geez,
Oh,
they
my
definitely
God.
were lovers in jail.
and like you and like you said, there is an inside man, and it turns out it's
An inside woman.
yes, it's
I will admit, I did think it was Prescott until
I
like,
thought it was Prescott.
until
I was
he
like, this-
until he said he had a mom, and I'm like, oh, it's
well, yeah, so it's like the lady who works there because earlier she's like, oh yeah, I have a son. He's a little
They did get me with the butler. I really
yeah.
thought.
I did that until like later, and they're like inside man, and I remember like, oh, there's 2 people. It's definitely gonna be like a bait and switch, so I'm gonna think it's her.
Yeah.
And I was right, so I felt
So
good
it's-
about myself.
It's Marv's mom.
He's like, hi, mom.
Yeah.
He does like a weird mouth. His mouth looks weird when he talks. Like he's trying his best to be Marv. He's like, "Hey, man."
It was just over the top with the mannerisms and
Yeah.
That's
stupid.
my dumb blonde.
I mean,
white
again,
bitch.
that is a little bit like French Stewart. I loved him in Third Rock from the Sun. Did you ever watch that show?
No.
Oh, it's the aliens who come to Earth and they're trying to blend in with society and they're just like screwing up things all the time. He was like the funniest guy on that show.
That's hard to believe after watching him in that. He was so annoying.
Yeah, he hasn't really done a lot
really-
afterwards.
Because they probably watched that movie and they're like, nah, we're not casting this guy.
When it comes to these kind of movies, I never really blame the actors. I blame like the stuff they're given.
Well, his wife, Missy Pyle, she was in a lot of stuff after this too. She's in a bunch of Tim Burton movies like Big Fish and
they're
whatnot.
not really to be blamed.
They're just not that funny in this.
It's the people who came up with this movie who were like, let's bring back Kevin.
Yeah,
but
and-
not Macaulay Culkin because we hate people.
Yeah, and then the traps like suck in this.
Are they even? I don't remember the traps.
I feel like the traps were so quick. They were just very brief. They didn't really touch on them. It was like I don't even remember them.
Yeah.
I don't remember them.
Like,
Was
that's
there a
how they
trap? The
didn't
only
stick
trap I
out.
remember was when he flooded the house.
Yeah, he floods the house. And
That
he does
makes
the
me
thing.
so
I
mad
want to
about
point
the
out
movie.
that I was
Yeah.
sober watching this one.
Yeah, wait, he floods the house.
There's no way you just flood the house. I don't care how
That
rich
shower
this lady
system
is.
could put a hole in your body. It just
That
goes-
water pressure was amazing. I would love that water pressure. But there's no way you flood that whole house. I don't care how
Just-
rich you are.
just with
And
that
then you
much
just
water.
fix it in a day.
Yeah.
Like, the next day it was just totally fine.
Well,
like
it's a magic
there's
house.
no
It's not
mold or anything.
Oh well, they grabbed their thing and they went clean house.
Yeah, clean the house,
No, it
drain
didn't work.
the water.
He's like, well, it was worth a try. And then Natalie walks in. She's like, oh, oh, oh. And I'm like, oh my God, I hate this. This is worse.
Yeah. This
But what-
one's
And she
rough.
was still nice to him after that.
Well,
Yeah,
She
she's
was like, it's okay. Like it's all right.
I really didn't like that. Like
they're
10,
just like, I don't like you.
yeah, 10,
Therefore-
15 minutes before the movie's done, they're like, she's the bad guy now. And I'm like,
No, she was a
she's
good
not
guy.
Yeah.
Because anyone flooded my house like that, kid or not,
yeah.
I don't care. You're out. Sorry.
I will admit, I was annoyed with her because they did, but when they're like, let's trim the tree, and they do all that, that was an annoying scene because they're just dancing in front of the tree like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For like
that was
too
cringy.
long. But then the next day, they're like, what happened to our tree? And she's like, oh, I didn't call the tree cutting service, the tree decorating service. And I'm like, all right, that's a bitch thing to do.
Oh yeah, she like
And then
totally
I got
undoes
mad-
their
Like
decoration.
you could have
I
just
got mad
kept
at
it and put the
myself.
other tree in a new room or something.
And then I got mad at myself for being invested in that scene. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, Kevin's dad is really the bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
he's
like,
jumping
oh.
into a marriage, but he's like getting annoyed at all their little
yeah, just leaves
differences.
his wife and kids to smooch off some rich girl, some
Yeah.
young, like good-looking rich girl,
Yeah,
and then just leaves her.
yeah, he gets real picky. It's like, dude, like, come on, you got to work a little bit at this, or just get. But realistically, he'd be like, you know what, this one's not working out. I'm gonna find another girl. Like instead, he's like, I'm going back to my wife.
And everyone's like, yay! I hate at the end of the movie where he's like, Prescott's like, music on, and he passes the Kevin. He's like, snow fall, and it snows. I'm like, there's no way that remote works.
Wait,
on God.
where did the snow come
That's
from?
from God, because this movie is stupid.
It was bad.
Yeah, this one was. I never watched it all the way through until recently. This one was hard to get through.
It makes it gives Kevin McAllister's a bad name.
It really breaks the Home Alone lore. I don't like that the parents are broken up. I don't like the whole Marv getting a wife and everything. I don't like it at all. I feel bad for poor Eric
And it's-
Avari being in this.
The most embarrassing thing is you're just sitting here, you're asking me if I've seen all these movies. Some of them are really good, some of them are not that good. And I just say no because I've never seen that many movies. And then someone ever asked me if I've seen Home Alone 4 or 5, even 3, even 6 that people don't even know about. I have to say yeah. And like, oh, well, did you ever see like Pulp Fiction or something big like that? Rambo, you asked me about earlier. I'm just like, no. But I've seen Home Alone 4 and 5.
I've seen Home
and
Alone
6.
4.
And they're like, wait, there's a Home Alone 4, 5, and 6. I'm like,
That
oh.
is funny because
Yeah.
I think you even said the same thing when I brought this up. I'm like, yeah, we got to do the worst Home Alone. You're like, oh, it's definitely 3. I'm like, oh, do you not know there's more? And you're like, what?
Yeah.
So that's why I told my family.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, there's only 3, right? I'm like, there's 6. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because God hates us.
Yeah, I think this one went on like Fox or something. I think the second one's like
Oh, of
ABC.
course
or
it was
the
Fox.
next one is like an ABC Family movie.
It was either Fox or NBC because they do those stupid whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was Disney for a second, but I'm mistaken. Also, who played Kevin better? Me or this kid?
I was gonna say, like, what kind of idiot would try to replace Kevin McAllister with someone? Me. I got Jess to play Kevin last year in the Die Hard one. Jess, I think you did a better job than this kid.
Thanks. That's rough. I got lost in New York once.
Now, if this had just been a new kid, I don't think we'd hate it as much.
Yeah.
It would be forgettable. It would still suck.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that it is all new actors like that. It adds that extra level of hate to it.
I just remember there's like the scene where he gets breakfast. I had to like get up and like stand in my kitchen because he's like Molly's bringing him. I think it was Molly. I forget. She's bringing him breakfast and he's just in bed like. And I'm like, I need to leave.
I would rather watch Water Boiled next time than watch this movie again.
I'd rather
Water Boil would be more fun.
Yeah,
I'd rather watch. Actually, I would watch this over Transformers 4.
Oh, God.
Because
you hate that movie.
Because this movie's shorter.
That's true. It is short. At least they're short. Okay.
Transformers 4 sucks.
It's funny. I have been cooking more, and so I have had to watch like Water Boil, and it is more entertaining than this film.
It is. Because I keep telling about the chronicles of my mom's new kitchen.
Oh my God. On the Creep Up, the show that she's on, there was like a month stretch where we all had to get Jess' kitchen updates.
Well, because it was so fucking loud, they were just like, bang, bang,
yeah,
bang.
Jess is calling into the show. You just hear like drills and stuff going in the back. We're like, it's great, Jess.
But either way, my mom's new stove boils very fast. And also, I messed up one time by heating up some pasta sauce without the lid on. Let me just say, I wasn't expecting it to splatter everywhere.
That's okay. I burn rice all the time. I always forget to switch it to low.
Yeah, but...
And I'm like, what's on fire?
It must be a Peluso thing.
Sauce all over your mom's kitchen?
You know what's funny? It's just rice that I do it with. I don't do it with anything else.
Nicole overcooks everything.
Really?
A chicken, a burnt rice.
Wait, how do you know what my sister overcooks, Prison Mike?
Don't worry about it.
Also, can I just say, talking about this is more entertaining than this fucking
I love that we just went into a cooking.
It is.
I'd rather talk about this.
You know what's funny?
This movie and the next.
Me burning the rice twice was funnier than this whole fucking movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God. So yeah, I guess
I'd rather clean out that burnt rice pot than watch this movie.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
Yeah, paint dry.
Than watch this and Transformers 4.
So yeah, this one I guess didn't do it for a lot of people, and they were like, in 2012, they're like, okay, we're gonna try one more time.
Don't. Hey, I'll give this next one credit. It's not. They didn't name him Kevin.
Yeah, and that's where we get Home Alone: The Holiday Heist. Prison Mike, can you read this?